Hi, hello. Thank you very much for taking your time to watch this second video. I hope you're going to get as much value from it as you got from the first one about the water. So today I would like to talk really about the axis of sleep, stress, and weight loss. Okay, so this is a huge topic. Okay, so we're not going to have time to talk about it all, but I'm going to make sure that I'm going to point out a few key messages here that are really important. So, why it is important for you not to be sleep deprived. When you are lacking of sleep, when you're tired, your cortisol level, so cortisol is a stress hormone, okay? This guy deserves an hour's video on its own, but we haven't got an hour here. So, just for now, focus that cortisol is a stress hormone, and chronically elevated levels of cortisol are very no good for your health. But when it comes down to losing weight, it really tricks your body into running only on carbohydrate. Okay, so what that means. So when your cortisol is high, it means your body cannot burn its own fat, because all fat tissue, all it is just like an energy storage. So imagine you've got this tank of energy available, but if your stress hormone cortisol is high, your body will not be able to access this energy store. All right, so that's one thing. Second reason why, obviously, lack of sleep is not good for you, because when you're tired, you tend to make poor choices. When you're tired, you might decide to miss a gym or to I don't know, make yourself better with some comfort food. And comfort food, as we know it, most of the stuff is processed and high in calories and high in fat and high in sugars and high in loads of other bad stuff. So we tend to make poorer choices when we are tired. So we're literally out of our brain, and that is the term, scientific term, out of your brain. So that's number two. Number three reason, okay, when you sleep is, and most of the repair. So for example, imagine you're going to the gym and you're exercising and you're going for all these runs and things like that. Your body needs to recover. Your muscle cells, muscle fibers need to recover, and that happens when you sleep. So we're going back to talking about the same metabolism that I've spoken in the first video. To support healthy metabolism, you need water, as I mentioned before, and you need sleep. You need this time to give your body to repair itself and to grow stronger and to boost the metabolic rate, so you can enjoy, I don't know, more energy, have a healthier lifestyle, and burn calories faster. So how do we do it? Okay, so I always try to give a few tips of how to achieve all these things that I'm talking about. So very important is to set some sort of routine. So let's say whether it's going to be, even if you can't get to your bed till late, then make sure it's consistent. So for example, I don't know, whether it's 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock, and try to get at least 7 hours sleep. Many different research papers and many different doctors would recommend 7 to 8 hours. I know it's not always possible, but try to get as close to those. So some people will say, oh no, I'm okay on 4 or 5 hours. Well, it's just because you've been doing it for so many years, you don't even remember how it feels to actually have a proper night's sleep, and you're probably just tricking yourself saying that you're doing well. So there's only like 1 out of 1,000 people that can actually function well with 4 to 5 hours sleep. So a normal human, okay, regular mortal like you and me, will need 7 to 8 hours sleep. So setting a good routine is going to be your strategy number one. For example, for me, for myself, I go to bed at 10 and I'm always up at 5. Okay, so I get my 7 hours faithfully every night. Okay, so then before sleep, that's the first strategy. Okay, so setting the routine would be your first strategy to go to. Second thing, try to avoid like big heavy meals before the nighttime. Okay, caffeine is an obvious one, so I would say I would not recommend anyone drinking caffeine past 2 p.m. But avoiding heavy meals, especially heavy carb meals, before the nighttime is a good idea too, because what's going to happen? First of all, your digestive system is going to be working overtime, keeping you awake, keeping all your body awake, and it will release loads of energy there. And once there's loads of energy available, it's going to be hard for you to fall asleep. So try to minimize the meals, and then try to minimize the snacks right before the bedtime. Things like reading a book will always help. Some people do the meditation. Meditation is a very, very good thing. So just breathing and really kind of trying to calm down your thoughts and your mind works wonders. Journaling, writing down your thoughts as well, that's very, very calming practice. So I always say try to find out what works for you and monitor it for a little while. So if it doesn't work, then maybe change it a week or two later, and then try to figure out what works for you. Sleep is very, very important. It's like your reset button, okay? So for you to unwind, to reduce the stress, to keep this cortisol down, and making sure that, I don't know, your health is where it should be, or weight loss is on the right track, you need to keep the cortisol down, and therefore you need to sleep properly, okay? So I hope this helps. I hope this makes a lot of sense to you, as it does to me. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.